It's round 5 tonight. We are going to the Cathedral of Speed, Monza, and we'll talk you through some of the drivers and exchanges and everything very soon. My name is Webbo. I'm your commentator, and I will welcome our co-commentator Carrera fan, but I believe his mic's just cut out, so he will be here very shortly.
Hello, I'm back. Some technical difficulties, but won't stop us from commentating for tonight.
Just wanted to make a nice stylish, fashionably late entrance there. Very good.
Better late than never.
Well, tonight is round 5. So far, it's been a complete shutout for the BMW Sauber team. Those guys have had their own way of every race, sometimes even getting 1-2s. So we're hoping that that dominance might be slightly different tonight. We've got some new drivers, some exchanges in the paddock. Looks like Tom John has joined as part of Scuderia Joker's team. We've got Towney here tonight as well. He is in... Can't quite see his team. His colour doesn't seem to match what I'm expecting, but I'll get there very soon and check that one out. But it's your first time with us on commentary, Carrera fan from Formula C. What are your thoughts of the format and the teams so far?
Firstly, I think the format's brilliant because we have 3 drivers per team, and they all have to do 8 races. So it's always unpredictable, and especially we have drivers from positions 1, 2, and 3, so it really creates an unpredictable race and quality. So it's always enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just going to ride along with Branch, who I think was the first one out of the pits. He's just getting the tyres warmed up, working out how not to skip the apex of Ascari, because he invalidated his outlap doing that, but he's foot flat to the floor. Carrera fan, maybe you can take us through a lap of Monza on board Branch.
Yeah, so DRS lap wide open, very long straight, very important you have it open. Now, run down to turn 1, you have to take this really good, take the apex, he locks up, it's not going to help us run into the second corner now. Get a good exit, and through this corner, staying far away from the apex on the inside, but it's fine. Can he hold it together down to this part? It's very important. He can push you off to the gravel this time. Manages it so far, Lightning gets out of the way. Nice and easy. Into the Les mode we go. Taking the curve as much as he can. Much speed. Through here, don't validate. And he manages to keep it together. DRS flat wide open again. And now just run down into Ascari here. Very difficult, especially on the rear. You can easily lose it, and let's see what we can do now. He takes it nice and easy. On the curb, keeps it within track limits, so that's good. Now again, just gonna have to let it run down into the parabolica and hope it doesn't mess up anything now. Take the apex, stick quite close to the inside line. Use as much curb on the exit as you can, and coming around all of 5, first of all 119.738.
Thank you, fantastic. Okay, so a good banker for Branch. We have, I found out that I believe it's, I'll just check in, we've got Atlas GP Ben Watson coming in 4th, Bruder in the Versace Couture in 2nd with a 119.7, and Tom, not to be confused with Tom John, Tom is in the Cyan Racing Team colours, and he's got pole on a 119.0, so significantly faster than everybody else so far, but we'll carry on watching the other cars crossing the line. Maurizio on a P3, 119.7, very tight that group, and there goes Snarf, also in the Cyan Racing Team, going top, so a 1-2 right now. These guys had a fantastic race the last time out in Hungary, and have really seemed to come into some very, very good form lately, so look forward to seeing these guys perform as Tom John is getting to grips with his Scuderia Joker's team kart. All the new liveries you'll notice, we'll try and let you know if you're new to us today. We'll try and let you know who the teams are as much as possible. Now, the reason I couldn't work out Townie down there in P17 right now is because he's got a different coloured icon than what he should have. He's Lightning's teammate, which is the Audi team motorsport group. And it looks like Townie might have slightly different colour scheme and be showing up in a different icon. So maybe a tweak to the livery just needed, but he has been a fairly late addition. So we welcome him anyway. And here are the times by our championship leaders, BMW Sauber at this stage, 7th and 11th on their first lap. So I think there's quite a long way to improve. Storm is running mediums. He's not going to make another lap on these mediums. But they're certainly so far in qualifying missing their top driver Julian Carrera.
Yeah, we know how strong Julian is no matter what track or what conditions are thrown at him. Just so consistent, and he's just so fast around whatever track. He barely gets any track limits, he just flows with the track. And if you're wondering why Townie has got different colour than his teammate Lightning. So
yeah. Well, that's something to put a pin in for all of us for the race. But yeah, there's only one person not in the correct colour scheme, and we'll forgive him because I'm sure he was a late addition there.
Yeah, I was trying to wonder why there's no second Audi driver, but there he is. So if you're wondering, the Audi Sports team are 17th and Lightning with the red, usual red, and about to go for lap now.
We've got Lankavas just started his hot lap. Now Lankavas will be having traumatic memories of the last time at Celeritas he was at Monza. Lankavas slammed into the back of the safety car in the confusion of a safety car start. So he'll be hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice again, if you forgive the pun, with our other driver, as his teammate goes P3. Bruder in the Versace gets P5 right now, but there is a big gap at the top, so I expect the second and third runs from our drivers to really get into that gap and make it much more competitive. Carrera, this is a track that traffic is really, really difficult in qualifying.
Definitely, you've seen it in real life races, 2019 and 2020. That final parabolica can just be a kill car. And obviously everyone wants to get slipstream on each other, but at the end of the day it's only going to mess each other up, and so we're just going to have to hope that the drivers stay out of each other's way. And I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but P4, I'm not sure who the driver is, sort of like glitch away.
P4 is Ashtube in the
Ashtube, alright.
Yeah, in the Blaze Motorsport, and he's just deposed by firstly Beetle, and then his teammate Lankavas gets a 1:19.1. So really good time from Lankavas. Putting the practice in, I'm sure. High quality driver Lankavas. And it was unfair of me to only bring up for our new viewers one of his most famous errors. He is very good. Dittellick, our Division 1 championship leader, gets P3. He's with his divisional teammate in his own team, Atlas GP, as well. So these guys, they work together. I know that they will often have a party chat going on at the same time. Work out strategies, and they push each other really, really hard. They've got such similar pace, and there you see some great cooperation between teammates as he moves aside for his teammate Ben. Ben's on a hot lap. He's 3/10 under in sector 1. I think that's 3/10 under his own fairly slow first banker time. We'll stay with him and see if he can extend that gap. But we've currently got he's on the vast majority of the field on 1:19.
Yeah, sorry to cut in there. Ash just completely went off of the red line, nearly walked into it, but back running now.
So pushing hard.
Yeah, stay out of the way, all the storm's back up. Going out that storm. He's on out that storm. But I was going to say, Sion Racing is very strong still. P1 and P2 without losing P4. So that's interesting to see. Can they keep that
Ben Watson. Ben Watson and P7. So Tom John, we have to call him Tom John because we've also got Tom HC. So Tom John crashes out, it looks like. I didn't catch what happened, but he's gone from the session already. So he won't be improving and be starting very close to the back, if not the back completely. Yeah, Tom HC fastest lap. Goes even faster, Carrera fan. That's a very strong time. Is that the kind of times you were hoping to see tonight?
I was definitely hoping to see more of a improvement than what we first saw was an 18.0. So definitely good to see times improving, but I'm still looking for more closer to the 117 for sure. It's not the end, and some drivers can be on high fuel run.
Right.
Just not like it. And okay. I think there's another team that's using a different livery. I think Price and Ivan. They're going into the same pit box, but different colours.
Yeah, that'll be a glitch. Price is in BMW Sauber, and Ivan is in our Moving Chicane Motorsport team, who have been living up to their name lately, sadly. Lightning goes P3, 18.9. That would have got him on the front row just a few minutes ago. So he gets on to P3. I don't know if that's the fastest he can go, but it was a good improvement. Tom HC is going for another lap. About to start his last lap. Probably, maybe he got another run in. No, he's slowing right down, so not worth watching him.
Low fuel mode.
Yeah,
boxing in this lap.
Well, it's a little bit
clear indication though that Tom's fastest lap was on minimum fuel, so it's going to be interesting if he can actually go faster than his 1:18.53, and let's see how much Snarf has got teaming.
Yeah. Welcome to everybody in the stream. Sorry I haven't said hello to everyone just yet, but hi to Velo, Monarch, to I think Lightning's here, Waitsy, and Bacon's here as well. Welcome to everybody in the chat. I don't know if anyone else is here. Say hi if you are. Great to have everybody tuning in to Formula C. If you've got a question about Formula C or what you're watching, let us know as well, because we'll try our best to answer. So what is Townie's colour scheme? This looks like default multiplayer car 101. this colour scheme for Townie. At least it's got a little bit of red on it, but it's very much not the proper Audi colours.
Yeah, definitely not. Even strange, even if you delete the F1 game, your livery actually still stays on. Okay. So I think that must have been him.
No, he's new. Yeah, he's new to the team, so I don't know if he's had time to properly match everything, but definitely get him to change it for next time, I think. Bruno's here. Hey Bruno. Bruno, one of the all-Brazilian Scuderia Jokers team teammates. He's here watching possibly race engineering his team, as I'm sure Monarch, Waitsy and Bacon are doing. Oh dear, yeah, just watched Townie go wrong out of Lesmo 2. So that lap's going to be completely ruined. That set of tyres probably ruined as well. So just about time to head back, Carrera fan, and get out for a proper run.
Yeah, he's got damage right on the right wing. So I think he... Oh, and Pricey's retired, so...
Pricey retires from 17th, yeah.
It's a sector 3 yellow flag, so something's not going right. But yeah, I was going to mention, the top, the Sign Racing has now been split by Beetle, so it's going to get really close to Beetle's position. Yeah,
good catch, yeah. I was busy watching someone get it wrong, and I neglected to watch the tower on the left. Just watching Branch, who's 2.5 tenths under as he enters Ascari. One thing I've never really understood about track sector times. Why are the sector times always in the braking zones when you least can afford to look at your sector time? your eyes are always on looking for your brake marker and then trying to hit the apex. You need the sectors on nice clear straights so you can actually look at your time. Branch does go faster in P11. Answers on a postcard to that one, because that has been confusing me for years.
Yeah, we've lost Ruger though as well. I think that's the sector. There was a sector 2 yellow flag as well. So I think drivers I don't know, losing grip getting into the wall. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but
yeah.
the tyre, but not going to help his time.
Let's have a look and see moving chicane. Ivan's on a warm-up lap right now. He's about to start his main time. Less. 121. Well, he's on mediums. I guess maybe that was what he was going for. Maybe that was a fast lap.
We've got Pricey on the chat saying he just crashed and hit the wall, so I'm not sure how that happened, but that is the reason for his time.
Well, let's hope he hasn't got the football on again. I will stop bringing that one up, but it was just too funny when it happened. But yeah, Zonic's here as well, so hey to Zonic. Yeah, Ivan gets out of the way of the other drivers, very sporting. And Lightning is on, I think, his last attempt here. Oh, gets it wrong, out of the Retophilia, and I don't think this one's going to be improving any times. He gets it wrong coming out of Lesmo 1 as well. He's really, I don't know if he's made a setup change, but the throttle application is just way too brutal for the downforce at that particular moment.
Yeah, definitely. And hello to FedEx in the chat. Division 1 race winner, so it's good to have you here. And Storm has just put in the chat, light rain at the start, and Lightning's gone off. Ooh, that's not good.
No, that car looks really loose. I wonder if he's taken every bit of trim out of it and he's just completely ruined his chances.
Yeah, so light rain at the start of this race. So
interesting.
That's going to be interesting.
I wonder if any of the drivers starting at the back of the grid have elected for a wet setup. And maybe that's why they're so much slower. There'd be no reason to put medium tyres on if you know that the race is going to start in light rain though. So maybe not from Ivan.
Yeah, exactly.
Dittel about to complete his lap here. I don't think he'll get round to go again. If he wants to, he will be able to. But he goes slightly faster, P6 in a 1:19.0. No one is troubling Tom at the top though, so far.
Lots of drivers coming out now. They won't matter, these softs will not matter for the race, because obviously it is a light rain to the start of the Grand Prix, so might as well use these softs to the maximum.
Yes, definitely. You can rag them, can't you? Full send, rag the tyres to death.
Absolutely, destroy them, who cares, just get the fastest time, that's the objective.
Ben Watson slightly under his time. It was a little bit confusing because it looked like Ash saw him too late to do anything about it and had to dive out of the way, completely off track into Retophilia. I don't think it's affected Ben too much. He is still under his time, so he might make an improvement, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get him up. Storm's put in a great lap. Carrera, P4 so far.
Yeah, that's good, especially it's always difficult to have a strong teammate as Julian, but it's always good to prove you've got a pace, and so P4 is a very useful one.
Ben makes a mistake there into Ascari. I don't know if he was slightly put off by his teammate ahead of him. I don't think he was close enough to have needed to do anything about it, but certainly I think it was a problem. Just watching Maurizio coming through Parabolica, and we'll see where he comes out. I was watching the Grand Prix at the weekend and realised just how much Turn 4 in Barcelona feels like the Parabolica in its structure. But Maurizio gets P10, and again I don't think he'll go any faster than that. Let's go up to the top of the grid though and see Tom goes slightly quicker. Beetle coming through Lesmos. This is his bid for pole position. See if he's got anything. Moving the car around a little bit. Not quite sure that's going to buy him anything. He's just slightly over, so it's all about Ascari and Parabolica. How much time can he gain on himself? I don't fancy he's going to get up to pole, but he can protect that P2 from the likes of Storm and Ash, Towney, who are still out there putting their laps in. Takes a huge amount of apex into Parabolica. I can't see that being fast, can you? No. Definitely
not, and he's abandoned that lap. And midway through Beetle's lap, Storm lost the rear, and he's got damage.
Yeah, and I just joined Storm, and there was a piece of a car ahead of him flying towards his halo, so no joy from him. Ash Tube's touring around in the grass on the back straight. This could be it. This could be our grid already. Ivan's gone out and put soft tyres on, but I don't think he's going any faster. He's got the checkered flag. That is all she wrote, folks. No one's going any faster. Everyone else has invalidated on their current lap. So it looks like Tom in the Cyan Racing with Beetle in the OWP next to him, with Snarf, Storm, Lightning, Dittle, Lankabas, Ash, Ben and Towney, your top 10. Remembering, of course, that Towney is, in fact, Lightning's teammate. So we have pairs of teammates all in the top 10. There's a definite divide between the top teams and the lower teams, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks good for Blaze, P7 and 8. That's quite... I'm not sure if it's a good thing to be right next to your teammate, but at least it shows they've got equal pace, so it's good to be in the top 10. So
Bacon's proffered an opinion here, Carrera. He said no one should start on wet setup if the rain is going to go away. Do you concur?
Well, the rain apparently will last for like 20 minutes, Storm mentioned. So if that's the case, then I would actually agree with that. I would rather be on the dry setup, because obviously it would help you both in quali and for the rest of this race. So I agree with that.
Good stuff. Well, I already read out the top 10. So starting on free choice of tyres, although of course everyone might well be on wets. Towney in 10th, Maurizio, Shea, haven't mentioned Shea yet, apologies for that, in the Versace Couture, followed by Branch, Bruder, Gogs, Tom John, Pricey and Ivan will be starting at the back of the grid. I'm not quite sure why we have 18 runners, of course, because CLES1FCR5 eSports withdrew from the championship, and we haven't had anybody with sufficient budget to build a car in time to take up the offer mid-season to start a new team. But then the offer is there. Again, anyone watching on the chat, if you want to join Celeritas, you might well be able to get into Formula C if you can start a new team. You do need to pass a qualifying test though, in terms of racecraft and time trial times. So see if you've got what it takes. There's a link to the Discord on the YouTube channel, and you can join us and try out your skill set against everybody in the league. But Carrera, there's always chance to reserve for other races or practice lobbies going on nearly every day.
Yeah, that's a great thing. We're a community here at Celeritas, and if you're not able to race, you can always reserve. You can always have fun with other drivers, whether that be crazy lobbies. We host that definitely on the weekends, but sometimes throughout the weekdays. So yeah, it's a community here, so we're welcoming you to join.
This is very light rain. Is it worth the drivers? They've all gone for inters, it looks like, on the warm-up lap here, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of standing water or spray at the moment. So would anybody be wise to try slicks?
I mean, it depends. If you're in a position and you've lost out a lot, there's no risk on try. But at the moment, if everyone's on inters, that means it's supposed to be on inters. So
yeah,
not sure, but it does look. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much standing water. But
Gogs has lost it into turn 1 already. Gogs has been disqualified from the warm-up lap, as has Tom John. I wonder if they got it wrong. They've certainly learnt in the outset what not to do down into turn 1. There's been a lot of warnings, Carrera, about behaviour into turn 1 tonight.
Yeah, definitely. If you watched our Division 2 race here, or even Division 1, there was some contact, and it is a difficult corner when you've got 20 drivers, but there's still a way you can all not send it, I would say, straight into
the old adage is absolutely true tonight. You can't win the race on the first corner, but you can definitely lose it. So we hope everybody is going to take it easy, sensible through the first few corners. Just a reminder there, Tom HC is on the top of the grid, starting from pole in the Cyan Racing team, followed by Beetle in the OWP. We've got Snarf, Tom's teammate, Storm, the highest, unusually, of BMW Saubers. Storm is trying to warm up his tyres in the mud there. I don't think that's going to work. We've got Lightning P5 Dittel in the very nice livery Atlas GP. After we've seen a few laps, Carrera, and things maybe settle down a bit, you can give me your assessment of who you think has the best livery. I don't know if you're aware of mine, but if you're not, I'll keep stum, and you can you can give us your view of the best livery. Often a good talking point in Celeritas.
Yeah,
Maurizio desperate
really
for an invite, but I can't do that where I am. Someone hopefully will be able to do it. Someone listening to us might be able to invite Maurizio. Hopefully he can take the start. A couple of disqualifications. Maybe Carrera, if you could have a go, but we might be about to start, so it's probably best we don't. Maybe if you could watch from towards the back on board or something, and we'll see. But we've got 5 lights. It's lights out. It's go 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 at Celeritas for Monza in Formula C. Slightly tidy getaway from Tom. Beetle getting up the inside. Snarf just trying to pick a line. Who's he going to follow? He follows his teammate on the outside. Just consolidating 3rd place. Beetle not too greedy. Good to see. Does look like Dittel Lick has got up the inside of Lightning and is gaining a place. He's got the inside through this corner. We've got a safety car immediately. Carrera, did you catch what happened?
Yeah, I was riding on board with Branch. I saw Lankovas got spun round. They were 4 wide, so 4 wide's definitely not going to go. But
no.
yeah, both Shea Bentos and Lankovas basically got damaged, so they're going to have to pit almost certainly this lap.
Well, I can almost hear Branch screaming from Texas here in the UK, because I'm pretty sure that's driving him crazy. He's not had a great deal of luck lately. The level of impact that we would have had at the front there will have given us the safety car, or cars pointing in the wrong direction or something. But all drivers have a good reason to carry on and try to take the finish, because we do give points to every finisher in Formula C. The point structure is a lot more even, and there's less of a gap between the top finishers to make sure that our drivers drive as a team, and the team result is what this is all about.
Yeah, good start, obviously under the safety car. We might as well talk about the starts.
Yep.
Tom John had a very good start, 5 positions, same with Pricey and Ivan as well. So positions 11, 12 and 13 gained 5 places, so it's very good for Tom.
Yeah, absolutely.
9, so hitting this lap actually.
Interesting. Should we go on board and see what Fruder's going to put, what he's going to put on, unless he's got damage to take care of? But I wonder if he's gambling.
He's
no.
going for the inters.
He's got a time penalty to pay, so better to pay it now under the safety car, Carrera?
Yeah, but you want to get rid of it, you know, so you can just focus on the end of the race. And as we were saying about the tyre, Lightning's going on mediums.
Interesting. So a brave bid from Lightning there. Wonder where he'll come up. We've just seen an accident. Pricey ran into Tom John. I'm not sure who to blame there, because it was the moment that we joined Pricey on board, he ran into the back of Tom John. Whether Tom John braked too hard, I think there might have been a penalty for that particular contact as well. I know for sure that Pricey's got some damage. Bacon calling out Lightning for making a bad strategy call here on the tyres. Time will tell. Time will tell. It does look like the rain is steady and maybe slightly worse than the start of the race. So just Lightning putting mediums on. He's given up a lot of track position there, and Price is up to 10 seconds in penalties, and we barely had a lap under racing conditions. What did we get? Maybe 4 corners. So let's hope that trend stops pretty quickly, because he's going to get disqualified for that one. Yeah.
Let's see if Pricey pits now if he wants to get rid of that 5 seconds, because he's on 10 seconds, and that's really going to hamper this race. And he's got damage on the side of that. So I would pit, get rid of the penalty and damage, and he has gone for the pit stop now. So has another car.
Is that Gogs going in behind him?
Yes, that's
okay.
He's in the pit lane. So
I wondered if it was. I saw a flash of red, and I wondered if it was lightning deciding that the mediums weren't right, but not so much. So, yeah, 10 seconds of penalties for Pricey and a new wing. This is one of the slowest pit stops possible in the game, but he's out. He's only paid 5 seconds of his penalty, so he's got another one to go next pit stop, sadly for him. So yeah, not great, but it's early days. It's only lap 3 of 27. Lightning has come in, and he is putting the inters back on because he was missing an end plate and I think 3 elements on the right side of his wing. I think he had an accident as well, Carrera.
Yeah, it was a gamble, and it was maybe, I wouldn't say a stupid gamble. We'd always love to see drivers trying something
Yeah,
new,
definitely.
but
Yeah.
clearly didn't work. But at least I believe Lightning should get to pit. Oh, actually no. Lightning's very far back from the safety car, so if the safety car's in this lap, which it should be, it's going to be far down.
Although often that safety car algorithm seems to be about the gap from first to last, as much as the safety of the actual debris and stranded cars and things. It seems to be much more about how close the cars have condensed together. So he may have cost the field another lap under safety car. The lights are still on, and safety car's about to hit Parabolica. I can't see. I don't know at what point they will turn off. Lightning's still 15 seconds away from Shea, who has 7 seconds from Pricey. So I don't think. No, the safety car is definitely going to go round again. We will have another safety car. So maybe it's as good as time as any to ask you, Carrera, what you think about the liveries so far.
Definitely like Audi's livery, at least Lightning for now. I've always liked red on the car, always loved the Ferrari. Obviously, I'd love to see something different. We've got more pillars as we say that. Pricey's livery as well for BMW Sauber, really nice. You can tell they've gone for that BMW Sauber look, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, Blaze as well, it's very good. Joker looks quite unique, I would say, but I like it as well.
What's funny about the Joker team is that they had the same pattern as Movie Chicane Motorsport in the early stages, and if you see our Meet the Teams video, you'll see that those colour schemes were very, very close. So we asked one of them to change, and I think Movie Chicane changed to a different livery colour scheme. But it's interesting, you've picked absolutely none of my favourites whatsoever. I like the Versace Couture team, who I think are very brand savvy when it comes to Celeritas. I think it would make a great Celeritas colour scheme, the orange with black, and I also like Atlas GP, unusually for me because it's got some neon in it, but I quite like the black and neon chevrons. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think everyone does. But if I had to pick my favourite livery, I think I'd have to go with definitely Beetle's livery. I believe that is the confusion with the teams. It's very
Audi. Sorry, Beetle is OWP, and I still haven't found out what OWP stands for. I think it changes every week. But the lights are out on the safety car. Tom is going to become the controller of the race until he decides to go. He's waiting quite a long time. He's just about to enter Parabolica. I don't think he's stamped on the throttle just yet. I'm watching from the perspective of Snarf. I think he's gone now. No. In fact, he's decided instead of going, he's going to drive into the wall. So Beetle becomes the safety car controller. Beetle's gone. He's got a gap to Snarf. Looks like further down, Dittle is being challenged by Storm. Storm has the inside line. Beetle slightly ahead under braking. Storm, typically very sensible and calm, gives up the place to fight another day, but loses traction on the way out of the Retophilia chicane, and it looks like Ashub's going to get up the inside. Storm will get the inside on the way into the next chicane, but I think Ash has got this. Yeah, Ash gets fourth place. So Storm went backwards after trying to attack Dittle into the first chicane. Did you see anything further down?
Yeah, I just saw now the two, I believe it's moving chicanes.
Yeah.
Branch and Ivan make contact into the chicane, so I mean their name goes alongside it, but I don't think they've got major damage as seen now. but as well as Lightning pitted to get rid of those mediums. Goose is on the mediums. He's trying to get this work.
There's an unwritten rule tonight that just says someone has to be on the wrong tyres. So Storm comes at the inside, the outside of Ash on the way down the back straight towards Parabolica. He'll get good grip under the dry line, but Ash making his car wide, taking the inside, drives Storm out to the outside. Storm holds on. Meanwhile, Ben Watson behind both of them is going to try and get them both. I think he's going to get a double toe. He takes to the inside. We've got 3 wide down the main straight. Storm slightly ahead, but Ben has the favoured inside line. Who can hang on? Ben gives it up very sensibly. Storm goes around the outside of Ash. He'll struggle to get traction on that line and just about maintains. Very good driving from those 3 drivers through the first chicane there.
Yeah, good to see no contact made, not ruining each other's race. So yeah, that's a brilliant round.
Yeah, there's just no grip at all. So it's about being sensible here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at Gogs. He's just falling back so much.
Yeah,
these mediums are not working.
So Ben managed to get Ash Tube on the way out of, is it Variante Outer, the second chicane, and consolidated that gain through the Lesmos. So he's now attacking P5, and Ash is the one who's gone backwards. This is what we saw in our divisional races. There's never a dull moment in Monza, and the cars can just stay with each other so easily. Another car goes off, up. I think it was Storm, went onto the grass again. He just saved it. He'll be giving us that save recording, I'm sure, but lost it on the way out of Ascari. Saw him on the grass. Dittle and Ben have got Storm now. Dittle further up the road, catching a toe on Snarf. So this is really interesting. Here comes Dittle. He's got the toe. I can see a lot of action further down the grid, but I'm going to stay with Dittle as he tries to take the outside. He doesn't manage it. Snarf owns the road in that particular position, and it looks like Tom Johns picked up a penalty in his bid to drive a recovery drive. Did you see anything further down for us, Carrera?
Yeah, I was actually watching Tom Johns. He's about to make a move on Ashton. I was going to mention he had a great start with 10 places up, but he just completely cut the inside corner of the first corner. So yeah,
I'm just riding with Ash, and Ash is in the gravel on the way out to Variante Alta. There's just no grip, and they're learning how to drive the track every lap because the grip's changing on them.
Yeah, just on board with Ash's teammates, struggling as well with those rears, and so is he. Touched the gravel and he's lost the place for Pricey and Pentos.
That's exactly right. Shea gives it up as well. As you say, Bruder on the attack. He have to take the outside. Some creative camera angles. I apologise for not being able to stay with the action, but it's on board or Storm's gone. He's lost it on the way out of Ascari again. I swear that's the 3rd lap on the trot. Storm has struggled getting out of Ascari. I wonder if there was a deeper problem than that. It'd be great to talk to Storm if we possibly can. But meanwhile, Branch is fighting. Ashtube going backwards as he struggles on these inters. Lightning up to P11. Remember, Lightning's had 2 stops at this point, and we have a pit stop with Snarf from the head of the field. He's decided mediums. It's time.
Yeah, interesting to see mediums because people losing so much grip. It's still raining a bit, but Ash is just falling backwards. He was running P5, P6.
Well, he made up a place there, but he did have his elbows out. He's just bashed Branch all around the track and out into the grass. Branch had to get completely out the throttle and short shift to get himself back to stay on track. Lightning, straight Lightning as Variante Outer battling with Bruder and Shea. He's had to give the places back. So not a lot of room for racing given there. A lot of penalties in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Just seen, was that Bruder spearing off? No, it was Shea. Shea spears off to the side of the track. He might recover. He hasn't DNF'd yet, but he's tumbling down the order. Action here at Celeritas in Monza yet again. The drivers won't want to come back.
Maybe, but I think it's better they race here than Monaco in the rain, so...
Lankavas got past Towney there through Ascari. Hate to cut you off, but we've got Beetle from Dittle and Ben Watson at the head of our field now that Snarf pitted. So Atlas GP up to second and third with OWP at the head of the field, and near the foot of the field with Gogs. I don't know, Gogs has just gone backwards. I think he's just lost the place to Tom rather than pitted again.
Yes, he lost it on the exit of Ascari. He controlled it, but he's lost the place to Tom. But interesting to see Snarf on for the mediums after seeing how slow and the lack of pace Gogs.
Yeah. There's a lot of spray around still, and a lot of rain on the visors and the cameras here. Whoa, Pricey trying to use the grass to break into very anti-outer, but not giving a lot of diligence to the fact that Tom John is slower on the brakes. So Pricey might just need to bide his time a little bit more here, getting it a little bit too close in places that are too difficult to overtake. Now he can try to power out, but because he was so close, he had to get out of the wake on the way out of Lesmo. So maybe just a little bit of patience. He tries to take the outside into Ascari, cuts across the nose of Tom John. That has left Tom John, I think he forced him off the track. Tom John's disappearing down the order, P11 now. So aggressive work from Pricey there. I don't know. Sorry
to cut in.
Yeah.
Shea Bentos has not only pitted for dry set of tyres, he's on the hard. He had to cut corner one. No
Pricey pits for the second time. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Pricey's pitted as well. He's decided it's time for dries, possibly. But remember, he's got another penalty to pay for. Yeah, he's going on mediums. Dittle's pitted.
We're getting a lot of drivers pitting now for the dries. We've got soft runner on Beetle, medium for Dittle, and medium for Pricey as well. So
this is going to be interesting because Beetle and Dittle were the leading pair, and the reference point will be Ben Watson to see when Ben Watson pits and whether it was a net gain or loss for Beetle and Dittle here. Dittle has lost a lot of time in the pits relative to Beetle, sadly.
Yeah, and obviously when you said that marker to Ben Watson, Tom HC, he put in the fastest lap a few laps ago on the inters compared to other drivers who have been on the mediums. They still didn't do a faster lap. So it's clear they don't have the pace on the dry tyres. We are seeing a lot of drivers now going on these dry set of tyres. So this is going to be interesting. Cuts the corner on the hard.
Yeah,
we saw that with Bentos, Shea Bentos.
Beetle down to 14 seconds to the leader, Carrera. So he's already getting that gap to under a pit stop. Bruder's up to 15 places, I believe, by timing his stops a little bit better, possibly. I know he didn't start anywhere near that, so good start from him, and also a good drive from Lankavas at the moment. I imagine it will be pit time for everybody. As I say that, Ben goes in the pits. What will Lankavas and Bruder do at this stage? Do they hang it out again, or do they pit with everybody else? I think they might have waited. So Beetle coming through in third. It looks like Lankavas and Bruder going for another wet lap. It's definitely dry now, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because it is still raining and it isn't easy on the tyres, especially when you come out on that out lap. But at the end of the day, the dry tyres are going faster. And look at the gap between Beetle and Bruder. 6.3, 7.4 half a lap ago. Yeah,
absolutely. Lots of penalties racking up. It's a tough track to beat the track limits. The chicanes that you want to take lots of apex. You want to avoid the gravel on the outside. It's very, very difficult to stick within track limits here, and so it's proving. Snarf from the lead is now behind both Dittle and Ben. So not ideal for them. And Snarf turns it round while we're on board, slams into the wall on the exit of Lesmo 2. If he hasn't got damage, I'll be surprised, because that was a pretty hefty smack. And yeah,
he's got damage.
That's right.
Damage.
So struggling to get through the corners. He's going to pick up penalties, skipping over apexes just to compound his problems, as Lightning for P8 is going to come up behind him, catch a toe, and I don't know if he'll want to put himself on the outside of the parabolic on a damaged car. That's a risky position to take if the car's going slowly and has lost downforce. But gets past him. Snarf will peel off into the pits. Medium tyres to the end, Carrera, at this stage?
Well, normally you could get them to the end, of course. We had a few laps, 12 laps on the inters, so in a way, yeah, they could get them to the end. I don't see why not, but they're going to have to tyre manage a bit.
The tyres that will not make it to the end are the softs that are on Beetle's car, and as Bacon points out in the chat, Beetle now needs to open out a full pit stop from Dittle and Ben and hope that there's no safety cars at this point.
Yeah, just seeing this opening 12 laps, safety car is definitely possible.
Yeah.
For the rest of the race, so a lot of mixed strategies though, a lot of mediums, a few soft runners and hard runners. So
yeah, we've got 4 cars on hard tyres.
Can't go to the end. Yeah, I don't see. They could technically go for another set of softs if they've got it available. Obviously, you need 2 different tyre compounds, but obviously we've raced on the inters, so I believe another set of softs will work.
Yes, absolutely, definitely true. So Beetle could could go into soft. I can see Pricey catching Ben Watson here. Pricey wanting to string a consistent race together and get to the checkered flag tonight. Not helped. He's already had some contact on the wall. In this season, wait, see, he joins us. In this season, we have all the seasons will finish at the same time. So this is only a 12 race season. So it's the same amount of races left as the rest of the Celeritas offering. Everything will terminate at the same point, and we can reset. Maybe have a couple of weeks off, but yeah, I think it's 7 races to go. Just like all the rest of the races and all the other divisions. Pricey getting pretty close here. I fancy he'll be. I haven't seen a DRS notification yet. Have you, Carrera?
No, I haven't. I believe there is though, because it'll.
Yeah.
I think it's Tom. It's amazing pace. The gap completely went down on that main straight. So
yeah, I'm just watching Pricey open his DRS. So he is able to resume his chase on Ben Watson. Ben's teammate Dittle is actually weaving across the track like a formation lap. Obviously not happy with his tyres at this point. Pricey tucking in behind Ben, got a little bit more confidence of the braking zones of Ben than he did for Tom John earlier, but Ben did lose it pretty significantly on the outside of Parabolica, completely compromised his exit, and Pricey breezes past under DRS. Quite a big gap behind Ben Watson to Lankavas and Lightning, and we'll head down the grid in a minute just to make sure that Pricey isn't under threat from Ben. No, I think he's got him, and I think he's got more speed at this stage of the race. Time will tell on tyre management further down. Let's have a look.
Race though for Sign Racing, obviously.
Yeah.
10th and 15th. Tom is making up places, but they were first and second, and they're running. One car just in the top 10, and one car in 15th, so it's just completely gone away from
Shea Bentos got. Oh wow! Shea got Tom John into the first chicane, then clashed with him on the way out, letting his teammate Bruder get past both of them, and it's getting a bit dicey down there. A little bit of retaliation, I think. Yeah, that's not what we want to see in Celeritas. And if I were those drivers, I fancy reporting both of them. That was naughty behaviour, Carrera, from those two drivers, taking their grievances out on each other in the middle of a race.
Yeah, never a thing we want to see. We want clean racing as much as you really want revenge on whatever happened.
Oh, just as you say that, I joined Snarf as he and Ash collided on the way out of Lesmo 2. More contact, more damage for Snarf. Lost another end plate. I think Ash potentially, yeah, he's in trouble as well for damage. They're both going to end up in the pits. They're probably both going to come out next to each other and be fighting again. As behind Ash Tube comes Towney and Tom John. Good grief. It's just all kicking off on lap 15. Put a note in the edit plans, because lap 15 is where it all went wrong for loads of people. Towney has got DRS and a good slipstream on Tom John's Scuderia Jokers team. Tom John making it. I don't think Tom John is actually Brazilian, so he's spoiling the Brazilian party, or Festa, if you will, at this point.
Yeah, the two colliders, Snarf and Ash, are both exiting the pit, so this is going to get a bit spicy now.
Yeah, but it was actually, I think it was Shay and, is it Tom John and Shay that were smashing into each other? Very unsporting behaviour.
Absolutely sent it, which is not something.
No.
But it's going to get very interesting though to the end of this race, because as Beetle is on the softs, it's definitely going to have to pit again, and my choice would be another set of softs. It's basically going to be like Hungary 2019, one stopper for Dittle and a two stopper for Beetle. Yeah,
it does look that way. Absolutely. Dittle's taking his time. Ben is not taking it easy. Ben has caught up to Pricey at the head of the field. There was quite a decent gap between the two of them. And Ben has gained significantly as Pricey is struggling to actually make a pass on Dittle. So Ben will be coming up to help his teammate defend against Pricey by making Pricey look forwards and backwards at the same time. Yeah, Bacon says he's made a note in his notebook for stewarding about what we just saw. So I expect to see some licence points dished out for the behaviour earlier on. Let's not dwell on that, because the action is still going on track. We're on the helicopter camera that is deciding to track the cars in the middle of the grid order. Not very helpful for us. To go through Parabolica again. I've just seen a Blaze Motorsport car in the gravel on the outside of Parabolica. Was that Ash?
Yeah, that's Ash. He's completely binned it as well. This is just sliding away from him and he's pitting. I think this is a retirement.
Could well be.
He enters the pit.
Yeah, a semi rage quit, not a full rage quit, hopefully, but.
Yeah, if you'd like to end your race, this is the way. Don't send it into someone, and yeah, but he's changing tyres on the softs. He hasn't retired yet, so.
Pricey is trying. Well, that's good. I like to see the drivers continuing on. Pricey was trying desperately to get Dittle on the way into Retophilia and couldn't get it done. And now going through the Lesmos, Pricey trying to bide his time. He's going to get DRS now. This is going to be a tough challenge for Dittle to defend. He's weaving around on the track. Pricey has no idea which way he's going to go. Waits patiently behind him through Ascari. Little wiggle on the way out. He'll get a tow up to Parabolica. I imagine he'll just stay behind him and get ready for the safety car, for the DRS detection line. Yeah, tucks in right behind him, almost runs into the back. This should be candy from a baby for Pricey, and it's actually Dittle who struggles to get through Parabolica at this point in the race. So Pricey getting by on DRS. I'm sure he'll get by, and Dittle will end up tucking it behind him and try to gain back some of that lost time. But Pricey into second. So this conservation run of Dittle's perhaps too conservative. His setup not suiting these tyres as much as Pricey, and Pricey is now on the hunt to catch or live with Beetle's pace, who we are fairly certain will have to pit again.
Yeah, and if Beetle's going to pit, he's going to be 7-8 seconds off. And on a soft compound tyre, depending on how many laps he's got, it's still not impossible. But at this phase of the race and this phase of the tyre, it's now going to start to come into the medium runners, 7-lap all. But it's going to mention Price had a great race, 15 positions up, and so have Atlas GP, P3 and P4. So that's looking good for them.
Yeah, fairly typical running from these guys, but they are racing against some of our Division 1 racers now. If anyone's tuned into Division 2 before, they'll know that Dittle and Ben are very, very strong. And as I was mentioning in the quali time, they push each other very hard and cooperate considerably. I think Maurizio running around I don't think he ever got an invite back in. So it's his AI is still in 12th, given all the drama that's befallen everybody else in the in the race. So the AI, which I think is turned down to something like 80 or something, he's managed to stay with everybody. Pricey, we're hoping that Pricey doesn't end up winning, because it will be a continued shutout for his team. So BMW Sauber have won every race so far, and they're looking strong again here. Obviously we lost Storm. Storm's still our only retirement, so the driver's really taking to heart the fact that they can still pick up points. I think Storm has been invited, he might be on his way. We hope we can talk to him. I hope he's not too mad. But if anybody knows not to swear on our stream.
Safety car.
We do.
Sorry to cut in.
Yeah, no.
Virtual safety car. I'm not sure what's happened there. But anyone who wants to pit now, it's the time to do it.
Absolutely. Let's check in. I think Beetle did it, or Beetle's already pitted. Did he pit under?
Price is going to pit. No, he's not. Was Dittle? No, they're not.
I think Beetle pitted before this VSC, so he hasn't managed to get. He'll be absolutely kicking himself. He couldn't make those softs run one more lap.
Yeah, he missed it. He did it a lap earlier.
Yeah.
It's not going to help. But I was more interested to see if Pricey was going to go on the softs, because then you could really have an answer to Beetle, same tyre compound. But they decided to stick with the mediums. They think it's going to get to the end. But the real eyes are now on Beetle, see how much he can close that gap and fresh stop.
That's right. So the gap to the leader for Beetle here is only 7 seconds, and there's 7 laps to go. He's on fresh soft tyres. He'll be getting them up to temperature still, but he's coming up behind Lankavas. He'll get a tow immediately. The challenge is on. What can Beetle do on these soft tyres relative to everybody else's mediums? We'll wait and see. We only need to look at last weekend in the Grand Prix to see that Lewis made a similar challenge work. The penalty situation Waitsy reminds us of. Let's check in now that we're probably pitted to the end, unless we get any more issues with safety cars. I imagine the drivers are now pitted to the end. Pricey with a 6-second penalty. A little bit of friendly nudge through Parabolica from Beetle on Lankavas gets him at the start of the straight before he's even opened his DRS, so he'll get the full benefit of DRS, having already made the pass on Lankavas, who is still tucked up underneath the gearbox. Beetle's challenge is now 6.3 seconds to the lead, but he only needs 3.3 of those to take the win, because of the difference in penalty. Dittle is right up behind Pricey. Won't need to action a pass as such, but Pricey's progress has definitely halted at this stage of the race. I think he maybe took too much out of the tyres in the early part of this stint, Carrera.
Yeah, I was interested in that as well. They had a full VSC pit stop. They could have gone for the softs, because we've seen it with Hungary, and we've seen it last weekend, or last week. The two-stopper of Lewis Hamilton's strat definitely worked, and if I was Pricey or Little, I would definitely option for the softs. And speaking of Dill and Pricey, Dill has a look on the inside of Pricey, and this is just going to help Beetle out, because all three of them are fighting for this lead.
I think the main beneficiary here is going to be Ben Watson, and Dittle's going to have a real problem here, trying to action a pass on Pricey while not driving his teammate off. He gets around the inside, Dittle to the inside. Ben is going to try and follow him, is he? Pricey hangs on gamely through, but they all avoid contact. Again, great credit to our drivers. Brilliant driving through there. Turn 1 is very, very difficult to cooperate through. Pricey's going to attack again, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. So Dittle is now our leader. Dittle, typically for Dittle, 0 penalties. Carrera, this is the best seat in the house for Dittle right now.
Yeah, we completely forgot about it. 0 penalties, so he can get overtaken by Price. He's 6 seconds within and still win it, or 3 seconds on Beetle if Beetle takes the lead. But yeah, Dittle's in a perfect position here. But the only issue though, he's gonna have to try and avoid contact because Price is right on the back still, and he's gonna get DRS.
Absolutely. It's still not a given though. 5 laps to get round. I don't know how many warnings Dittle has had. Perhaps you could maybe find out for us for track limits. If he's on 2 warnings, then it's still anybody's game here tonight, apart from maybe Pricey's. But Ben will be the main threat. No, Pricey has DRS on Dittle. Dittle is cool as a cucumber heading down to turn 1. Didn't buy any of what Pricey was trying to sell down there, so he held him off very nicely. Dittle drives very cleanly nearly every race, so always benefits from just leaving, maybe driving at about 98% instead of going for broke all the time. Another penalty for Ben Watson there, so he's now equal to Pricey, and a safety car. This race is just drama all the time for this race. I didn't see anybody disappearing down the order. Yeah, maybe it's Shea. Is it Shea that's triggered the safety car? Okay, so Shea's in the pits.
He's pitting, but he's not. Is he
no damage. No damage there.
It's not Shea, but horrible. Or actually, it wouldn't really make a difference. But Ivan dropped down. He was in 6th or 7th. He dropped down because he did have a drive-through that must have been under the VSC. But yeah, checking out Diddle's track limits, he's got 2 at the moment. So if he gets one more, that's a penalty. So it's still anyone's game for this win, especially with a safety car.
Yeah, we have lost Ash. So it was at that point, was it Ash that disappeared on us just now, or did he disappear on us a little bit earlier? He's just saying in the chat he crashed at the last chicane, had horrible oversteer the whole race. Yeah, we've definitely seen him having problems. It's lap 24 of 27. I hope we will get a grandstand finish to this race. I really do. Ash is possibly going to join us. We'll wait and see if he's in the mood, and hopefully if he is, he won't be so passionate he can't control his the words he uses. No shade at all on him. It's just a general observation from the drivers. But look, Ben Watson and Pricey decided to pit Carrera. They have both put on soft tyres. Beetle has got up to P2.
Yeah, I think it was a no-brainer. Ben Watson's only P4. I don't think he lost any positions. I think he was P4, P3 actually. But now they're going to be right alongside each other, so fresh set of soft will actually be probably the best thing right now. But as well, if it's the same safety car that we had earlier on, we'd probably be racing around lap 26 or lap 27, so it could be 1 or 2 laps to decide the race win.
And Dittle is on old mediums. Everyone around him is on younger softs. This is going to be a defensive drive to the end. He will have penalty delta to play with. If this safety car doesn't turn its lights off, we will hopefully speak to Storm, who I believe has joined us. Let me just watch it head into Parabolica, and then we will catch up with Storm if at all possible. Dittle from Beetle. Pricey. Dittle does have a Joker's team lapped car in between them, which might prove fairly important on a restart. Storm, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey man, our first retirement tonight. We saw it go wrong, but it seemed to be like the third, possibly the second or third time that you lost the car on the way out of Ascari.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a setup thingy, or I'm too aggressive on the throttle, but it's a really hard corner, especially in the rain. Everything went wrong there.
Yeah. Absolute crying shame. It won't be at your hand that that BMW Sauber shutout continues tonight. What do you think about Price's chances?
Yeah, Pricey started last, so he's making very good progress now, and he is on fresh soft tires, so he's in a very good position for the win.
Yeah.
didn't pick up any penalties yet, so yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. I've just watched Beetle rubbing wheels and bodywork with the lapped car, and Tom John has ended up getting disqualified from the session and a penalty for severe contact with Beetle, who, to my eye at least, Beetle was doing the contacting. But Storm, qualifying looked pretty positive for you today.
Yeah, I did well. First of all, I wanted to qualify on the mediums, but I forgot to look at the weather as I saw it was raining at the start. It doesn't make sense to start on mediums, so I just went for the soft tire, and I got a pretty good lap in. Mm-hmm. I invalidated my second lap, but that's unfortunate, but P4, I'm happy with that.
Well, stick with us. We're just about to have a restart, so we'll get back to the action as Dittel has a real job on his hands here. He's got to defend from a safety car restart for the final 2 laps on much worse tyres. Oh, it looked like he'd gone, and then he didn't go. Looks like Beetle's going to have a really good drive heading down to turn 1. They're very, very close to each other. The ghost of Snarf is there. I think Beetle's going to take to the inside. He's made his move. Beetle going to try and get around the outside. Everybody gets elbows out. Remember, Dittel gets better drive contact between the drivers. Dittel was forced to back out. Very, very difficult driving from him at that point. He's dropped down. I think Ben's got him as well, and it looks like Price is going to attack. But remember, the penalty situation has been Dittel is turned round by Ben Watson. Ruins the Atlas GP race. I can't believe what I've just seen. These two drivers drive so carefully with each other normally, and they're down in 10th and 11th.
Absolute horror story for them today. Ben Watson had an amazing drive. He was about to overtake through that corner. He did back off. There was a bit of contact, and then Dittel didn't expect how much his teammate would have braked into that corner and broke.
No.
And then
absolutely.
P12 and P10. This is like the same thing for Audi last time out in Hungary.
And Lankavas gets Lankavas up to second now. He got pricey through that round of pit stops and has a better penalty situation than Pricey as well. Keep an eye on the rest of the field as Branch is up to P5 with the Atlas GPs running into each other. There'll be stern words in that debrief in their private chat tonight. I imagine they're probably yelling at each other already. I just watched Ivan tangling with Bruder and Dittel. Dittel's up to P9 now. Definitely on driving angry, I'm sure. Lightning trying to attack Branch, who has made up several places over the course of this race. It looks so rough for Branch earlier in the race, but he's hung on and he's kept on trying. He's not given up on the race, and he's up to P5 already. So great stuff, great recovery.
This race is not over. Lankavas on 5 lap pressure tyres than Beetle, and look how close he is. He's going to get a shot.
He is trying, isn't he? And that Cyan racing car is getting away from these guys. That lapped car is actually pulling away from the leaders because of Beetle's compromised tyres. Yeah, Lankavas, he'd do well to probably wait. Yeah, I think he's going to wait for the DRS detection and not get too far ahead. It's all about the exit of Parabolica as Price is losing it on the way out. Perhaps his tyres aren't quite up to temperature. Beetle will move to the inside. DRS has not been enabled after the restart. Is he going to block? They're so close. Have we got a yellow flag? Have we got a VSC? No, the car's just so close to each other. Good grief.
That's it.
Are you kidding me? Beetle takes the win from Lankavas. We have Pricey in third and Lightning in fourth. Tom, for the Cyan Racing team, absolute roller coaster of a race for Cyan. Pulls into fifth place. Dittel gets sixth in the end. Branch must have had a crash on the final lap. Bruder 7th, Shea 8th, Towney 9th, and Branch Manch 10th. But your winner tonight, hanging on after that safety car, is Beetle in the OWP car. Absolute chaotic session we've just witnessed. Pricey gets BMW Sauber on the podium. It all looked like Atlas GP were going to make a huge gain on BMW Sauber and the rest of the teams tonight. But yeah, it does appear as if OWBP will be doing very well tonight with Beetle's win. And yeah, we've got Beetle from Lankavas and Pricey at your podium. Further down the grid, still getting points, Ivan, Ben Watson in 12th, Maurizio 13th, Gogs in 14th, and the last placed finisher is Snarf. My desperate apologies to everybody. Of course, I think we both, or at least I did, failed to realise that we were on the final lap. So much was happening in front of us, and yeah, it's the cool-down section right now. There's your winner, Beetle, in the OWP.
Yeah, great drive from Beetle. Great drive from Pricey as well. Came up quite a few.
There he is with driver of the day, yeah.
Driver of the day. Yeah. So, but there's going to be a lot of arguments between the two Atlas drivers there. I wouldn't say they would report each other, but there's definitely going to be a tension there, and they're obviously Division 2 drivers. So I don't know what's going to go on this Division 2 race this Friday, but it's not gonna help, that's for sure.
No, I think Dittle's ire is aiming towards Pricey actually, so we'll definitely check it all out in the incident reports in Discord later on. But there was your podium, and Carrera, given such a failure I made of the finish line, perhaps you could take us through the finishing order.
Yeah, Beetle, great drive, P1. Lankavas made up 5 positions for P2. Pricey, great drive, driver of the day for P3. That's the rest of the podium. Lightning P4 with Tom, P5. Ditto Lick in P6 with Bruder, P7. Shea Bentos, P8 with Towney in P9. And Branch Manch finishing the top 10. Ivan in P11 with Ben Watson, P12. P13 goes to Mauricio. And P14 Gogs. P15 Snarf with PRF Tom John, P16, the last of the finishing runners, or believe so. Ash, P17, Storm, P18. 3 DNFs, sorry, for PRF Tom John. A little bit of a glitch going on my leaderboard, but
no problem. Yeah, it was a glitch. It was definitely all a glitch. The reason why we didn't get the end of the race on comms, yeah, definitely glitches. But no, all the same, tremendous race. It was just so much action that it was hard to focus on the very end. I wonder if we can get any of our podium. May have time for maybe a couple of drivers, and we'll give preference to our podium sitters if possible. But yeah, it's probably not the best idea to talk to Ben or Dittle at this point. We'll let you know next race once it all shakes out, who did what to whom and who's at fault. But that was quite the all action Monza race, as we've seen before. Absolutely crazy. So we thought penalties were going to really put pay to everybody's race order, with Dittle probably able to hang on, but sadly on the way out of the first chicane, contact between Pricey, Dittle and Ben resulted in Dittle's win, and a potential 1-2 for the Atlas GP team turned to absolute, almost complete zero down there in P10, and something around 13th to 15th for Ben Watson. Wow, it's all going on. Everybody's busy throwing out accusations and everything in the Discord. Might be too busy to stop by for our press conference, or possibly they've gone to the stewards already. I can't quite tell. We're hoping to talk to Beetle, but we will hang on just for a minute or two. Thank you very much for all your attention and all your engagement in the chat as usual. Any comments, any missed driver of the days, or or top moves that you'd like to point out in the chat. Any congratulations for our podium is always nice as well. I know that the guys are properly appreciative of some positive comments. Not seeing anybody at the moment showing up. We'll have to have words with their press department for not shepherding to the pen early enough. Yeah, Ivan doing well. I did want to mention that Tom got the fastest lap there, I think. So he had good speed towards the end of the race. We're trying again with somebody else. I think we might be trying with Pricey to see what happened to his race. We'll get his take, hopefully, if he can make it to the party. But yeah, absolute cracking race. Looks like Pricey's here. Pricey, all drama for you tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So take us through those last couple of laps. What happened from your seat?
What, with Dittle?
Yeah.
Well, after turn 1 on the safety car restart, Beetle forced Dittle into the grass. So he was obviously going to be slow going through like the first sector. So I was following Ben Watson right behind, and as I was closing up to Ben Watson, Dittle swiped across in front of me, causing me to have to flick to the right quickly.
Yeah.
And then I was down the inside of him. On my screen, he's touched the back of his teammate's car and put him into a spin while I was alongside him. And obviously, I've kind of as how the F1 game works is that I've kind of been glued to the side of his car and just ended up pushing him away.
Yes. Yeah. You got yourself a good result in the end, but and a Driver of the Day award. But earlier in the race, we saw an issue. I think you did you make contact with the barrier in the early part of the race?
No, I don't. When? What do you mean? When?
Was that before the first pit stops while you were all still on inters?
Well, when I had a damaged front wing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was asking Jeff what the weather report was, and I flicked down to look at my HUD quickly, and I looked straight back up, and apparently everyone had stopped at the end of Sector 1, and I was just kind of bemused by that fact.
That's right, yeah, you seemed to sort of hit the back of Tom John, I think it was, early on, didn't you? Lose a section of wing, yeah. So another distraction. It's Jeff's fault tonight.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the Crystal Palace Southampton game, which I said I was going to be.
So is that just any London team playing you want to you're going to support?
No, I've just got a couple of bets on. Thank God it's 1-1.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. But how are you feeling after that race in the end? Good job done, or the one that got away? What do you think?
I think we'll have to see what Dowdek says about this incident.
You're not taking anything for granted at this point?
No, I think Lightning also saying that he might get his 3-second penalty removed, I think is very unlikely to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, just on to the next one, unfortunately. Once again.
Yeah. Well, that was your stranglehold on the top step of the podium for BMW Sauber disappeared all of a sudden. Obviously, you're still doing very well in the championship, but will you be glad to get Julian back on the team?
Yeah, I think it's looking at the calendar. It's Spain next, and everyone's in for a shock.
From Julian?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna say Julian on pole on mediums.
Interesting. Okay, we'll try and remember that for next time. And
so I'll remind you. Don't worry.
Good, I'm sure you'll remind us. Well, yeah, it was certainly entertaining, and it was good to see you. And thanks a lot for stopping by as usual. Congrats on the podium.
That's all right.
Cheers, man. Thanks, Pricey.
See you later.
Well, there you go. I haven't seen Carrera if Beetle showed up.
No, he hasn't. I've invited him.
Yeah.
But we don't have any other drivers wanting to join. We do have Ash though. He said he's up for an interview.
Okay. We'll give the
So-
last one to Ash then for showing up. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
welcome if you want. Absolutely. Interesting to hear Price's take on those incidents. I'm sure Ditto will have a different view.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. It was a bit of impact of a bit of an impact with Pricey having his car there, so it was just a very tight situation for both of the Atlas drivers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Atlas drivers are going to self-report on their own teammates, but.
Well, certainly in a
Yeah.
team dominating championship, it's probably counterproductive. But I'd love to hear what's going on in that chat room at the moment. Anyway,
Yeah, grab some popcorn.
we've got Ash. We've got Ash joined us. He has been able to turn up. Ash, well, that was quite a dramatic race from your seat. A fairly early exit.
Yeah, I just struggled with oversteer whole race. It was probably just my setup. But normally I have understeer, but yeah, nothing I could do, I guess. Especially, I think I had a tiny glitch on the inters. Tire wear was high. I was in a party with Ivan, and his tire wear was 30 and 14. And under safety car, I would gain like 2% each lap, which I was quite surprised by. So yeah, the rear just slept off, so I had to pit quite early, which definitely lost me extra time.
Did I hear you say you were in a party with Ivan?
Yeah.
Oh, not your teammate Lankavas then.
No. No. But anyway, pit stop doesn't matter because it's all random.
True.
Yeah, so. It's all
Interesting.
random party.
Okay. Yeah. Well, why not? I'm not sure how Branch and Lankavas are going to feel about that, but that's for you guys to work out.
They're being betrayed here, but
Yeah. Cross-team collusion, possibly. Maybe accusations of race fixing. But what happened to see you disappear out the race? You say it was oversteer the whole race and just lost it?
Lost chicane.
Okay.
The normal, lots of crashes there, like Storm.
Yeah. Yeah, it did seem a common complaint for traction out of Ascari there, Carrera. It seemed like that was a feature of tonight's race.
Yeah, definitely out of Ascari, and we've seen recently, Ash, you've definitely struggled on the rears the past few races. We saw in Brazil the rears just after like one of the laps, it just completely went away from you. And was that a similar issue that happened tonight?
I guess it's, I guess. It just seems that for me, I maybe push too hard so the tires go faster, and yeah, that I have no grip towards the end, or, yeah.
And is that, have you done plenty of 50% race practices on your tyre wear, or are you one of these drivers that spends a lot of time in time trial?
I don't really prefer time trial because race scenario is completely different. But
True.
I do, of course, do a few laps in time trials. But normally I just do race 50%ers in unranked. I do some with Carrera, my teammate, in Div 2. So
Excellent. Excellent stuff. I mean, what kind of finishing position were you expecting tonight? I mean, it seemed like really, really hard to predict.
Yeah, but I was not really want to retire because you get points for every position.
Yeah.
At least one. I was P16 during most of the race towards the end when I retired, which is at least 1 point, which is something. But yeah, would have liked to finish because points. Yeah, I still get it, but sadly I couldn't due to oversteer.
No, it looked like a good result for your teammate though. Lankavas got a fairly good result.
P2.
So
Yeah, P2.
yeah, so a pretty good night for points for Blaze. I do rather like your livery, and I know Carrera was talking about your livery earlier on.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of it. We were trying to get like something to do with, because we were going with Blaze Motorsport, something to do like with fire. So we did more of a, instead of going like light fire color, we did more darker fire colors.
No, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Any questions from you, Carrera, at all?
No, not really. It's just an unfortunate race for you, and and you know, it's you're just gonna hope and try and do well for the next track. And actually, how are you finding the next track for Formula C? It's the Spanish Grand Prix next week.
I'm not racing in that. My next track is Bahrain, so I'm quite comfortable at Bahrain, I'd say so. And my setup is quite good, so hopefully I can get good points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
We're in Abu Dhabi at the weekend, so you'll be staying local for in between races.
Yeah.
Very local to Carrera fan actually. So I'm sure he can help out with Bahrain and Abu Dhabi local knowledge. But in terms of the weather as well. But talking of weather, how was the car in the wet conditions today?
Not great, not great. The rear is
Yeah.
just after I thought maybe it was a glitch because I had like double the percent of where that Ivan had at one stage, which I was very confused by. So I finished like 4 laps earlier, which then I went on the mediums because I wanted to try to make it to the end.
Yeah.
But those had no grips because it's just like the drag conditions. Soft would be better in those conditions, so I started to drop away. Then I had the collision with who's that? Tiny collision, I forgot. But from my perspective, I feel like he turned it quite early. I have to see the replay.
Yeah.
But I feel like he turned it early. I was gonna turn it a bit later, so that's why I clipped him and we went into the wall. But yeah, from there it went downhill.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, commiserations on tonight, and I hope you can tune in on Tuesday next week to support your team. And help out in practice and everything, and better luck at the weekend or the following week in Bahrain. Really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, Ash, for coming to chat.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yep, have a great day.
Thank you. Well, Carrera, I think we better call it a night there. And any sort of standout moments for you or key takeaways?
Definitely the end of the race, you know. It basically proves anything can happen. 2 Atlas drivers completely going off. But I will say a congrats though to Dittel, because he was with his teammate outside the top 10. He made up to P6 at the end with like a lap and a half. So he did a good catch up. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was all over. I mean, I remember. I think was it last weekend or the weekend before? I said I think it was Monza. The last time we were there, I think I said if we watch this 10 times, we're still not going to figure out what went on. I'm not sure it's quite so dramatic, but it's going to be very similar watching that stream back. So, top tip for anyone still on the stream: if you want to watch it back, pause it now. Before it starts processing and becomes a recording. Otherwise, you'll be waiting several hours for the stream to come back on YouTube. But we have really enjoyed having you all with us and enjoying the race with us tonight. As I've mentioned, it's divisional races this weekend in Abu Dhabi, 6 p.m. UK, Friday and Saturday nights, and of course Formula C 8 p.m. on Tuesdays every week. We are heading towards the end of our seasons now, so it's championship showdowns, it's the fighting for the possibility of promotion or relegation, and then we will reset the teams and the drivers ready for season 2 of Celeritas. So really interesting time ahead of us, Carrera, on the championships and the tracks to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a dramatic finish to the first season, but you know, it's been a very enjoyable one. It'll be sad to see it go for a month until we get on to season 2, but yeah, it's been a great season already. So yeah.
Well, I think the divisional races will stop, but I think we'll probably have a few events, more casual or exhibition type events in the post season. We'll try and keep the entertainment going, and certainly the community will continue as people also start getting their hands on the new game through into July time as well. Well, like I say, really appreciate everyone being with us, and a special thanks to Carrera for staying up so late in his part of the world to commentate with us tonight. Very much appreciated. And I hope everyone enjoyed Formula C tonight, and we'll catch you all on the next race day. Good night.